Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live edition of Legends from the Past in the Future Show. And I'm solo again. I'm really missing my team. Roger's been having problems with his computer, and Yana, the car's being serviced, and Jeannie, she pulls a lot of hours. So hopefully we'll have the team back full strength for you soon. But we got a hot one tonight. We have the legendary Andre Dillard. But before I bring him to the stage, I got something I want you to see.
Welcome to Legends from the Past and Future TV. Our guest tonight is a true architect of the next generation, Andre Dillard. Hailing from Pittsburgh, he has dedicated over 30 years to education and mentorship. He recently made history as the inaugural Director of Mentorship Programs for Anne Arundel County Public Schools, a landmark role reflecting his deep, lifelong commitment to youth. His entire career has been focused on lifting up students in Title I and inner-city schools, including an 11-year tenure as a beloved elementary school principal. Beyond the school walls, he's a dedicated community leader, a proud 33-year member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity, Inc., and a disciplined fourth-degree black belt in Taekwondo. Andre, it's a true honor to have you. Welcome to the show.
He's here, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, the legendary Andre Dillard. Andre, welcome to the show, my brother.
Ahmad, thank you so much for having me, man. I'm kind of floored right now with that introduction. I'm really kind of speechless.
You know what? Hey, it's well deserved. This is your night. You gotta forgive me. My sound tech person isn't with me, and it's all on me tonight. So we're gonna get through this. But it's well deserved. I got to tell you, and I told you this before. I was at the Kunta Kinte Festival, and I bumped into our esteemed history-making Senator Shanika Henson, and she told me, she said, Andre Dillard, you got to get him on the show. And guess who's here tonight? The legendary Andre Dillard. So this is what we're gonna do first. We're going to travel down memory lane. Tell the audience where you were born and raised.
So I was born and raised in what we call the Steel City, the city of Three Rivers, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Born and raised there, and a part of the city called the Hill District.
Okay, the Hill. I'm pretty familiar with that. The one thing that I realized in the city of Pittsburgh period, is they love their Steelers.
Of course, man. So here's a cool thing about the city of Pittsburgh when it comes to sports. I want to see if you can name another city where all their sports teams have the same colors, right?
Yes.
The Penguins, black and gold. The Pirates, black and gold. The Steelers, black and gold. The city logo, black and gold. Black and gold is consistent through the city.
That is so true. I used to bank on the Navy base. It was a reserve Navy base over there. I think it was Navy base. But anyway, I used to joke. In fact, I was serious. I was serious about rooting for my team. So what the head banker sent me was Pittsburgh, the city of champions, and all the trophies. So what else could I say? And now tell us, while you were growing up, what are some of the things that you used to enjoy doing as a youth?
Man, probably one of the biggest things is just being outside. Like, I'm the oldest of three boys. And so my brothers and I and all of our neighborhood friends, we just love to be outside, running around. I remember that we had to stay outside. And when the street lights came on, you got to be back inside, but we would cherish every moment. And then in the summers, we just love to be outside, basketball, football, anything we could do outdoors. We loved it. Now, obviously, this was all pre-internet and video games and things of that nature, so we didn't want to be inside.
Yeah. What are some of the sports that you participated in?
Just I kind of almost I would say I dabbled in many, right?
Uh-huh.
Football, basketball, was even on the swim team for a little bit. Tried on the swim team.
Okay.
Wasn't as good as I hoped to be on the swim team, but we tried it all, and especially in the neighborhood, we would do. I would even tell you, like, we did hopscotch, we did jump rope, we did it all. We tried everything. And a lot of times, I remember playing what we would call bareback football, where you were just out there, you didn't have pads on.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, I remember those days. Now, did you play any sports while in high school?
On the football team for a little bit. And that's when I really was doing swimming as well, right? So, but I think I really got into like weightlifting in high school as well, right? Really looking into the physical fitness standpoint. So I kind of took that on, and we actually had a coach that was his big thing. And we, like, my high school was known for having like these like almost kind of low key like bodybuilding competitions and weightlifting competitions, bench press competitions. And so that my high school was pretty well known for that. Matter of fact, Coach Lucas, as we called him, Coach Luke was the man for that.
All right. So now you left high school and you went to college. Tell us about your college years. Where'd you go to college, and how were your college years?
So I went to college. It's called, well, at the time it was called Edinboro University of Pennsylvania. It has a new name now, but it was Edinboro University of Pennsylvania. And it's about 2 hours north of Pittsburgh. So you go up what they call 79, Route 79. It will take you there. It's actually 15 miles south of Erie, Pennsylvania, right?
Erie, Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yeah. And now the thing about Edinboro, it's actually in a valley. So a lot of the snow that would come from Erie, Pennsylvania, that lake effect snow would blow past Erie and go 15 miles down the road to Edinboro. And so we would get snow there. I think my first year, it started snowing there around this time, around October. And I swear the snow didn't end till almost May. It was like long. We had long winters in Edinboro, long, cold winters. But my college years were like some of my most fondest years. I took advantage of my college time and really made sure I enjoyed my college time there. I still hit the books, right? I still made sure my grades were tight, but I did enjoy being in college.
Oh, that's what did you major in?
So I was an education major. And so the funny thing about Edinboro was when I was there, we were, I think, it was about 4% African American. When about 4% African American. So a lot of my education classes, it was me. It was just me. It might have been maybe another Black person. I did have another good friend of mine. He was an education major, so we had a couple classes together. But it wasn't a lot of African Americans that were majoring in education at that time.
Okay. Now, before I move on to the next question, I'd like to welcome Silk Sims, my brother in arms. Welcome to the show. Lenny Knight. Or it could be Aquavian. I don't know, but it's Knight Brothers Real Talk Show.
Those are my guys right there.
Yes, welcome to the show, fellas, and Jack Abrams. Welcome to the show. So now you in college, you're about to graduate. What was your plans after graduation?
Man, my plan was to get a teaching job somewhere. I actually tried to get a teaching job. I wanted to go back home. I wanted to go back to Pittsburgh. But the state of Pennsylvania, especially in Western Pennsylvania, there were so many teacher colleges that they called them at that time. They were churning out these educators. And so it was oversaturated with educators, just graduating, trying to get jobs. So I tried in Pittsburgh, and couldn't get anything there because they just didn't have a high turnover rate or people retiring. So I ended up interviewing for a couple of jobs, and I had a choice between going to Cleveland, Ohio, or to Buffalo, New York. Even both of them really snowy, cold places, right? Yes. And I ended up going to Buffalo, New York. So I took a job up in Buffalo, New York, and I was there for 1 year. And then after that, I was like, I got to get out this snow. So actually, one of my best friends, actually one of my fraternity brothers, he was down here in Maryland. He was on the Eastern Shore. And I remember coming down here to visit him for spring break. And I drove down here. It was March, maybe April. I came down here and I was like, oh man, the weather's nice. It was sunny here. I was like, I need to come down here and teach. I need to get out of Buffalo. I get out of that cold. And I came down here, and then I applied and got a job. So I was on the Eastern Shore for a little bit. But I always knew that I wanted to get out and teach somewhere.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you also pursued your master's degree at Bowie State. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. So, after teaching, I did want to be even more impactful as far as being in the field of education and being very transparent. I also knew that, look, I had just started a family. Right? I was just, starting a family. I needed to make more money. So I knew that going into administration might be the way. So I went back to school at Bowie State University and got my master's degree in school administration and supervision. And I came to Anne Arundel County 2005 and was very appreciative of being here because within 3 years of being here, I got an opportunity to be an assistant principal at Georgetown East Elementary School.
Georgetown East.
Yes.
Oh,
excuse me. No, let me rephrase that. I was teaching at Tyler Heights and got my first assistant principal job at Tyler Heights Elementary School. I need to make sure I get that clarification, which is right around the corner from Georgetown.
Yes. So let's back up just a little bit. You mentioned family. So are you married with children?
Married, yes. Been married for 27 years. I need to get that right so I don't get in the doghouse. Look, I can tell you the date. I do know the date, June 6, 1998. I can tell you the date, right? I might get the years a little confused, but I can tell you the date. So married, and I have two sons. I have a 21-year-old and a 23-year-old.
So, Brother Dillard, towards the end, we're going to play a Newlywed game, right? Your queen, so shots fired. You know that, right?
I know. I think I'm ready for it. I got my bulletproof vest on. I hope I'm ready.
So I'd like to welcome Elder Charles James. Welcome to the show, Brother Preacher. Welcome to the show. Now, in May 2023, was your appointment as inaugural Director of Mentorship Programs. Let's talk a little bit about that. Take your time and let's bring it in.
Sure. So, and really to do it justice and really talk about it, I have to talk about our incredible, innovative Superintendent Dr. Mark Bedell, right? Really, because this position and what we're doing regarding mentorship and ensuring that our young people have the supports and tools they need to be successful. That credit goes to Dr. Bedell. Dr. Bedell started with us in, I think it was 2022. And he came into the school system really thinking about our students and really thinking about ways to get our community members, more of our community members actively involved with our students, right? And we had been doing some volunteering things with the school system, but a lot of it was around, okay, I'm a volunteer, I'm gonna go into the schools and I may help with some making copies or helping with bulletin boards and things of that, like more of the clerical stuff. But he really wanted to make sure we got people coming in and having more of that student facing, really interacting with our students, engaging with our students, and letting the students know and see that the people within the school want you to be successful, but there's people outside of the school walls that want you to be successful as well. So it started with an initiative called Be Present. And it was just that, getting more people to come into the schools and be actively present and working with our students and supporting our students and kind of get to know them. So then in his second year, really cool story. It's cool, but it's sad at the same time. There was a young man that I had at Georgetown East when I was principal years ago. And I want to say, what was that? January, February, I think it was, of 2022. This young man was shot and killed, right? He was shot and killed. And at that point, Dr. Bedell was about 6 months in, maybe 7 months into his tenure as superintendent. And I was still serving as principal at Georgetown East. And I knew Dr. Bedell was trying to find out more about the school system and the communities that we serve. Mm-hmm. So I sent him an email, and I was just kind of like, Dr. Bedell, I would really love to talk to you about students that kind of fall into this same kind of profile as this young man that was killed. And really, I call them students, the writing on the wall students. Like, these are students that they have so many different challenges. And if we don't put some things in place for them, it's not going to turn out well, right? And so I sent him an email, and I'm thinking like, this man, he's got so much on his plate. I'll be lucky if he answers my email within a couple weeks, couple months, whatever. And he responded to my email, I think it was like a day later. So then he said, hey, come on in. Let's come in. Let's talk about this. So I went in, and again, I was just floored to the fact that he took the time out to talk to me about this situation. And I went in to talk with him, and we were talking. I was sharing, about this young man and some of his troubles and things of that nature. And I said, we really have to figure out, as a school system collectively, we got to figure out some interventions and ways to support these students to kind of meet this profile of this young man. And he said, I got it. Mentorship. And I was like, oh, yeah. And so I was like, this man gets it, right? So we had more conversations about mentoring. And then, literally, I get an email from him, come in and talk with him. And we kind of talked more about mentoring and what it was really an interview, right? So we kind of talked more about this, and he told me about this position he was wanted to start within the school system. And I said, man, that sounds amazing. And, I'll be jealous of whoever the person that gets it. I'm going to be jealous of that person, and really didn't think it was going to be me, right? And then I got the call like, hey, what do you think? We want to offer you this role. And I was like, man, yes. Just saying less. I'm ready. I'm ready to start tomorrow, right? So, and this is a brand new position that we've never had in the school system. As a matter of fact, this position that I currently sit in, Director of Mentorship Programs, we are one of few, if not the only school system that has someone dedicated to working with all of our mentoring partners and mentorship, what have you. So yeah, I'm very fortunate, and I'm just very blessed to be serving in this role, and also having the opportunity to build this from the ground up has been amazing, right? It's been amazing.
So the mentorship program, is it just for the school system, or does it also go outside of the school system?
So it's for all of our students. First of all, it's, elementary, middle school, and high school. And so we have, again, Dr. Bedell's, just being such an innovative leader, he allows, like, I'm not attached to a school. I'm not school-based. So we have people at central office. They are not school-based. He allows myself and central office people to go out. We can serve as mentors during our workday. We get work release time. So we got about 100 people from central office that are serving as mentors, and they work for the school system. So I actually have 3 mentees that I'm working with, and I can go see them during the workday. So we got people from the central office and the school system to serve as mentors, but then really we want and need our community members. That's where we want to get the biggest pools from, people serving, and sometimes people are a little hesitant or they're worried about it. You don't have to have a degree. You don't have to have, you just have to have the heart and the patience and want to see our young people be successful. That's it. We fill in the gaps for everything else. Like we do a training to help people feel like they're prepared. There's resources in place, right? So we just need people who have the heart and want our young people to be successful. We're not asking you to serve as tutors. That's not what it is. You're not going to be going there teaching them math and teaching them how to read. It's really, a lot of it is building relationships and really the mentorship. Now, there are some pieces, like it does kind of spill into the academic component, but it's really about helping their social, emotional well-being. Because when students are in a good place socially and emotionally, then the academics are going to happen, right? When they're in a good place socially and emotionally, they're going to want to come to school. So if we can build that component, that pillar, everything else happens organically, right? So that's what we focus on, that social emotional piece.
So what I have noticed, I did volunteer work, coaching. Boys and Girls Club had football program. Now, what I noticed is a lot of the homes are broken homes. So this mentor program is really powerful because, you know, they need not just mentors, but father figures. How does that relate with or add to what you are doing as a mentor?
And I'm glad you brought that up, right? So when we talk about mentorship, there are what we call the four aces of hope, right? And one of those aces of hope is the ace of clubs, which is other caring adults, right? When we can have other caring adults that can kind of fill in some of those gaps and deficiencies, deficits that students might have, whether it be the lack of a father figure, the lack of a mother figure, the lack of having siblings, whatever it might be, right? We can have these other caring adults that kind of come in and fill in those gaps. And so, and that's just what we do, right? But I really want to stress that it doesn't take a lot. And whether you're a parent, whether you're a father, mother, it doesn't matter. That's not a prerequisite. It's, again, just having the heart, because if you're an adult, you've had experiences, right? And being able to share those experiences with our young people helps them a lot, you know, and just really just being there, because sometimes it could be just going in, playing board games with them, give them that brain break during the day where they can kind of recharge their battery. But also, it's also giving them another trusted adult that they might want to confide in and talk about things, right? That can help them with life situations.
Yeah.
It's key. It is key.
You know, I really commend what you're doing and how powerful it is. Do you see yourself doing this for longer than what you have now? Is this something that you want to continue?
Yeah, I do. I love this. I love this role, and I want to see it to continue to grow. Right. When we talk about what we're doing as far as mentoring, the request, like, you know, so this is my third year doing this, and so now it's gotten out, and so we're getting a lot more requests for mentors. So the request that we're getting is about the size of the earth, but the pipeline we have as far as mentors is about the size of the moon. So we need a lot more mentors, right? We need a lot more mentors.
Wow, what can the Legend from the Past and Future show do to help you get more mentors?
Well, right now you're doing it, right? Just giving me a platform to talk about it, right? So people can know that we're here. And if people want more information, they can just reach out to, you know, the Board of Education. They can go to the website, www.aacps.org. And then you can just go to the space bar and type in mentoring. And we have a website. Or just type in Anne Arundel County Public Schools mentoring. It'll take them to that website, and all the information they need to know about becoming a mentor is there.
Okay, so that's www.AACPS,
like Anne Arundel County Public Schools, aacps.org. And then they can type, and you just type in and go to the space bar and type in mentoring, and it'll take you to the mentoring page, and it's all the information is there.
Awesome. You know, your career has spanned over 31 years. 31 years is a long time.
This is year 32 right here.
Yeah, and you've been married for how long?
27.
And your wife has been supporting you every step of the way.
100%.
Yeah, like a first lady. So now, Andre, you talked about serving as a principal at Georgetown East Elementary for 11 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other jobs that you've held in the educated system.
So I was a behavior interventionist at Tyler Heights Elementary School. Like I said, I was a teacher, and here another job now. So it's this kind of, it's still related. I remember there were some summers where I was serving as a camp counselor, and I worked for an organization called AmeriCorps, and I was working in Baltimore City, and it was 2 or 3 summers I worked with this particular group within AmeriCorps, and we were working with students that were homeless, unhoused, right? And so these students were going to this particular summer camp over the summer, which was really cool. So I would do that over the summer. So I would drive to Baltimore City every day and do that, right? Just because it was a way to really build my capacity. But also it was a way for me to just learn more about just working with young people, right? And getting those opportunities to work with young people. And that was an extremely fulfilling job because, again, these were students that really didn't have a lot, right? And they were so appreciative of this camp. And we got to take them on field trips and just give them exposure to things they would not have gotten an opportunity to be a part of. So that was really cool. And I think I did that for two summers in a row, and this was prior to me getting into school administration.
So now, over the summer months, the city has a recreation program for the youth. It's not as big as it used to be. So how can they incorporate what you do with the summer youth programs?
So again, now that you mentioned that, I worked for that Parks and Rec for that's a summer camp 1 year. I actually worked with, not to be name dropping, but I'm going to name drop, was Shanika Henson's husband, Marcus Johnson. Him and I worked together one summer, couple summers. But just ways how really it might be like, how can we support them? Like, how can we as a school system partner with them and get mentors out there, or get supports for the things they're doing over the summer camps. Maybe that's more of the question. Like, I'm open to working with anyone who's working with young people. Any way we can support efforts of others, and I'm hoping they're willing to support our efforts. So when it comes to supporting our young people, collaboration has to be the name of the game. It can't be just these are our kids or those are those kids. We got to take responsibility for all of them. What's the saying? It takes a village, right?
Yes.
That's one way it takes a village. When we have all these different organizations that are partnering and saying we need to support each other, because that's what it's going to take. Because we're in some troubled times right now, right? And we need our young people to be successful.
Let you know a little something. Miss Folks, Gilda Folks, her.
Yes.
So when she found out that I was totally retired, over the summer, she had me at Georgetown East mentoring kids, and it was fun. It was really fun. They need that.
Mm-hmm.
They need that. Now, Andre Dillard, I want you to tell everybody, who is Andre Dillard?
I'm just an average guy, man. Look, I was an average student, right? I worked hard, but I was an average student who somehow was able to make it out of some tough situations, right? My upbringing was a little rocky. And so, I think I'm just an average guy that has been able to get some great opportunities, right? And I've tried to maximize those opportunities. Anytime I had an opportunity, I've always tried to take advantage of it, but always make sure that I let people know I'm appreciative and grateful for those opportunities that people have given me. I think I'm a guy who just wants to see really our young people be successful. Like that's who I am at the core. But I'm also somebody who wants everyone to have opportunities to be successful, right? I just realize how blessed I am, and hopefully in some form or fashion, I can be a blessing to others. But really, I just look at myself as a very average guy who just has been very blessed and had some really cool opportunities, and maximize those opportunities to the fullest.
And you're doing a great job, brother. A great job. Vanessa Turner, welcome to the show. Reverend Nolan Henson, welcome to the show. Now, beyond education, what are your plans beyond education?
Man, beyond education, I've been doing this for so long. I'm kind of, I think no matter what, I always want to be involved in the community, right? I've always feel like there's always work to to do in the community. So in some form or fashion, I always want to be involved in service within the community. I guess in I just started learning how to play the bass guitar in December. Yeah,
Oh,
so last December, after years and years and years of wanting to learn how to play an instrument, and I finally said I'm going to do it. Right, so I decided to go with the bass guitar. And so, funny thing is, you mentioned Miss Folks. I've known Miss Folks for a long time. She is like my second mother. Right, Miss Folks is just an incredible person. Her husband, Mr. Folks, Mr. Lloyd Folks, plays the bass, right? They call him bass man. So
yeah.
I had went to Mr. Folks and asked him, could he give me lessons? And he was like, I'm really, that kind of phase of my life has moved on. I really don't see as well, what have you. And I appreciate it. So he pretty much just said he retired from it. But, he knew how I was very encouraged by it. I wanted to learn. And so this man gifted me a bass guitar. He said, look, I can't teach you right at this point, but I have something for you. And he gifted me his bass guitar. And like, you talk about being honored, like, wow. Right. And so that's something I don't take lightly. So I've been, using his bass guitar and learning how to play. So I found a course online that I can do. And I'm struggling along, trying to slowly get better. Right. So I'm going to continue to work on that. And yeah, just that's my game plan right now. Maybe eventually, do some consulting. Maybe one day open up a youth center. Who knows? That would be so cool to open up a youth center.
Yes, I agree. Now, you are a 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Yes.
All right. Are you still practicing that, or?
I do twice a week.
Twice a week.
Twice a week. Yeah.
So where do you go to?
So we actually go to use a local school for our training, but it started with somebody who I say is legendary, Grandmaster Amos Johnson, born and raised in Annapolis, Maryland. So I had a school when I initially started. It was called AMAC, Annapolis Martial Arts Center. And he used to have a school over here. What is that plaza? Across, right on Old Solomon's Road, across from the, the Mexican restaurant. It used to be across the street from there. And used to have a studio there, but then it shut down. But we continue to train at the school. So I've been training there for, a few years. And actually, I started taking martial arts my first year in Buffalo, New York. And I was there, but then when I moved, it just kind of, I didn't stick with it. So when I got here, I was able to pick it up and started with my youngest son. My oldest son, right? Okay. I think he was in kindergarten. He started, and I started going with him, and then just kept it moving. At one point, I remember when the school was open, over that summer, I might have went to class every single day. Like, I was just so excited and so hungry to move on and progress. So I went every single day for that summer, just because I had the time. But yeah, I've been doing that for some time, and that's something I want to continue to do as well in the future. To can keep on working on that.
So that there's one thing that you didn't talk about while in college.
Okay.
Right. So now the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity.
Yes.
How long have you been a member of that?
33 years. 33 years, going on 34 years. So I actually joined in college. And so I am going to be biased, right, and say the greatest fraternity ever. Some others might disagree, but they can't disagree with the fact that we are the first intercollegiate fraternity founded for and by Black men, right? So they can't dispute that. Some of our great members would be the legendary Dr. Martin Luther King, right? Mr. Harris T. Allen was a member. Thurgood Marshall, our current governor, Governor Wes Moore, right? First Black governor of the state of Maryland, is a member of the fraternity. And been very actively involved in the fraternity and in the chapter here that's seated in Annapolis. And that's really been my gateway to doing a lot of community service as well through the fraternity that I joined in college.
I'm gonna tell you, brother, you're not right, man, because I was gonna say something. You mentioned some powerful names, so I'm gonna keep what I was gonna say myself. You mentioned Martin Luther King. What can be said?
Well, here's what I will say, right? Because I'm biased, but I feel like, I don't feel like I know, like all the African American fraternities and sororities are amazing. They all do amazing work, and collectively, we might have different colors, we might have been founded at different universities, but our goals and objectives are all the same, right? We are all about community service, and all the organizations have some really great people that have either people that are celebrities, but also just really drilling down to the people from our communities that join our organizations, right? Those are the people that are doing the groundwork. Those are the boots on the ground soldiers that make things happen, right? So, but all the organizations are just doing amazing work. And, I always think that, I always say that, when it comes to our we call it the D9, the Divine Nine, our African-American fraternities and sororities, as African Americans, we didn't create fraternities and sororities, but we really took it to that next level, right? We've taken it from just you can join in college and just being a college thing to taking it to, okay, if you join in college, or even if you don't, like you can also join when you leave college, but wherever you join, it's not just about being in college and the college life and the party and those kind of things. It's how do you transition that into serving others, helping the downtrodden, our marginalized communities, our young people, right? Those in need. And that's the work of our fraternities and sororities. And really that's where all of our founders of our organizations, that's where they were, that was their mindset. So for Alpha Phi Alpha, we were founded at Cornell University in 1906. So when you think about upstate New York in 1906, we weren't too far from slavery, right? Mm-hmm. You had 7 men that were at this Ivy League college. That one in itself is a feat at that time, right? For Black men to be at Cornell University, but then to take it a step further and say, we're going to start this fraternity.
Yeah.
And so when they started our organization, it was grounded in, we need to create this brotherhood to help other people that come from behind us that want to go to Cornell or wherever they might be, to create this bond of support so we can make sure that we are really helping each other, right? And pulling each other up. And that continues on, that, each time you pull somebody up, their job is to pull somebody else up, right? And so that's kind of the path and trajectory that our organizations are doing. And that's the groundwork that all the organizations kind of really stand on.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, and that takes me right into the STAIR program. Well, what is the STAIR program?
So STAIR program, again, is just a phenomenal organization that as a school system, we get to partner with. So STAIR it stands for Start the Adventure in Reading. And what they are is it's a group of individuals and they volunteer. They volunteer. They go and they work with our first and second graders. Mm-hmm. And they work with some of our first and second graders that have the greatest needs when it comes to literacy, when it comes to reading. Like these students could be 1 to 3 grade levels below. And so they're working with these students to really build their reading levels up. And they do it after school twice a week. And the cool thing about this is, and they do it's one-on-one, each young person has a STAIR, a volunteer still. And it also, when you're working one-on-one, not only are they teaching them how to read, but they're building this relationship with them, just like we talked about with the mentoring. So they're doing this mentoring component, but also working and building their literacy. And it's just an amazing organization that is in, I want to say right now, they're in about 15 of our elementary schools. Mm-hmm. And so they just do amazing work. And really what STAIR does, it aligns perfectly with our school system strategic plan, right? Because in our strategic plan, one of the priorities, one of the pillars is academic excellence, academic achievement. And under there's a goal of getting students to be able to read on grade level by the end of second grade. STAIR directly aligns with helping our students, especially those that have the greatest need, to get closer to that goal, right? And so I'm just very proud of the fact that I actually get to serve as a board member on the STAIR board, and help to kind of guide them and provide supports when it comes to supporting our students.
That's awesome. That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I'm going to tell you this, brother Andre Dillard. I'm going to give you a second to text your wife and have her come. But I'm also going to ask you some questions while you're texting her. Okay.
Okay.
So after a long day of work, what are some of the things that you like to do to wind down?
Man, I am like a movie buff. I can watch movies, movies and TV series. I'm really into anything action. It's gonna hold my attention. Action and comedies. I'm there. So, trying to catch up on shows. Like I mentioned, I'm working on improving on my bass guitar. Working on that. I'm doing my taekwondo a couple of times a week, and really also just spending time with my family, right? Spending time with my wife, spending time with my sons. The cool thing is, even though they're 21 and 23, they still like to be around us. Like we do a family vacation every year. This year we stayed stateside and we went to San Francisco. Had never been to San Francisco, so went out there for a few days. So anytime I get to spend some time with them, and that's always amazing. Love to go out and hear live music, right? So whenever I can get a chance to do that as well. Love to hear live music, and so had a really cool chance to go out and hear my brother Lenny Knight play with his band, right? The Shine Band. So that was really cool. So that's usually what I'm doing when I have some downtime.
So now you mentioned San Francisco. What do you think about the Golden Gate Bridge? Now, is that golden to you?
They call it the Golden Gate Bridge. It's painted red, so I'm trying to figure that part out. You know what? The driving across the Golden Gate Bridge and driving across the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. The Chesapeake Bay Bridge has the Golden Gate Bridge beat by 1,000 times to me, right?
Yes. Yes.
But the cool thing about the Golden Gate Bridge is they do have some really cool overlooks, right? You can kind of drive up and go and see the Golden Gate Bridge from, an aerial view, and it has a cool skyline. So that's really cool. But as far as just like the length, like, because the Chesapeake Bay Bridge is a lot longer than the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yes.
A lot longer. Right?
Yes. Easily. Now, your favorite sports team?
Man, it's going to be Pittsburgh Steelers.
Now, come on now. You've been in Maryland for how long now?
I actually moved to Maryland in 1995, but I can't convert. I cannot convert. Come on now. I got black and gold runs through my veins, right? My fraternity's black and gold. All my teams are black and gold. It's in my blood. If you cut me, I'm going to bleed black and gold.
So, who do you think is going to the Super Bowl this year? What are your picks?
So here's what I'm going to say. Who I would like to go would be the Steelers. Can I say if I was a betting man, would I put money on the Steelers? No. But the other team that I'm not going to put money on that's going to the Super Bowl is going to be those Baltimore Ravens either.
No. But the Washington Commanders.
Hey, look. Yes. I think the Commanders, man. Look, now that Jalen Daniels is back, he ups your chances. So now you got a big feat going get past the Eagles.
No problem.
No problem.
Not a problem. Not a problem. They're not as good as people think they are now. Yeah, they're not.
Look, everybody's got chinks in their armor, so I'm not going to dispute that. So,
yeah,
right now I feel like there's the Denver Broncos are kind of looking pretty good.
Absolutely.
Chicago Bears are starting to come into their own. So you just never know who's going to at that last push at the end of the season, who can sneak their way into the playoffs and get hot and then run it, right? So.
Yeah, that's true too. Now, out of everything that you've done and accomplished, and I know the Queen is getting ready to come in.
Yes.
This is your turn.
Oh, she's saying I got to take this chair now. I'm being voluntold. I got to take another chair.
Hello.
So, how you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So now you've heard of the Newlywed game, right? You remember that game?
This is our dog Zeus, who just had to come in the picture.
What's his name? Zeus?
So am I being set up? Did you set me up?
I don't think
The
so.
Newlywed game?
Well,
Okay, we're going to be put to the test.
you will be put to the test. All right. So, brother Andre,
Yes.
what was your spouse wearing on the first date?
Oh man. So I'm gonna say I can't tell you exactly what it was, but I can tell you the style, right? At that point, she was wearing like really baggy clothes. That was baggy, the baggy clothes look was in. So more than likely she had like these baggy pants on, probably a sweatshirt. Because again, we were at Edinboro. It was in the fall. I can't tell you what she was wearing, but I could tell you where we went on our first date.
Okay, go ahead.
We went to go.
That's
We went.
not what he asked.
We went to the movies.
He didn't ask that.
But I'm kind of redirecting the question. We went to the movies to see, and we went to go see Demolition Man, starring Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes, and it was raining, and we walked to the movie theater from campus.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, Sister Dillard,
Yeah.
would you like to answer that same question?
I don't remember. I have no idea what I was wearing on our first date. I don't know what he was wearing on our first date.
Okay. Well, who made the first move?
He did.
Is that right?
That's about right. Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, Sister Dillard,
Yes.
which of your spouse's habits annoys you the most?
Oh no. This one. Do I say this? Oh my gosh. This one is new. Like smacking when you eat.
Oh, okay.
But really, it's a compliment to her, especially when she makes it. I'm enjoying it so much that I'm like, man, this is good. I can't control it.
So you admit it? Okay.
I can't deny it, I guess.
You have? Okay. You're gonna get us in trouble.
No, it's gonna work out.
Okay.
So, brother, if your spouse would go back to school for anything, what would she study?
She already did that. She went back to school and got her degree in counseling. So are you saying another degree? If she were going to go back again? If she was going to go back again,
yeah.
What she's going to do eventually, she doesn't know it not. She's going back to get her PhD in counseling.
Wow, that's what I'm talking about. Those PhDs. I used to work with those PhD researchers up at Walter Reed. They know everything. There's nothing they don't know.
I'm already on my way. I would like to be a Dr. Dillard. I would love that.
Oh, that sounds good. That's what now, when it comes to the household chores, are they evenly divided? Sister Dillard.
Don't look at me. Ask the man's question. He's asking you.
No.
I'm going to probably beg to differ, but I'm going to probably beg to differ. Can you expand on that?
No.
Okay, expand on it though.
I said no.
Oh, you're not going to expand on it?
No. I'm answering his question, not yours.
So I'm going to expand on that. So I'm going to say there are some chores that Valerie does that I'm constantly saying, let me help. Let me take over. Let me do.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
I'm just saying, IJS.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who apologizes?
It's on the internet forever. You know this, right? This is forever. Okay. because we're gonna revisit this. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
So now, who apologizes first? Both of you. Either one.
Me.
Wait a minute now. So you which one apologized first now?
Me.
So if you're asking who apologized first, to me that means like who is the one that creates the most speed bumps? Who has the most speed bumps, right? Because you're going to apologize if you have speed bumps. So I would say I create the most speed bumps. That's why I was saying it would be me. So.
Oh, good. All right.
That's how you clean it up. I like that.
Clean
Good.
up. Yes.
You know what? I want to say this, and this coming from Elder Charles James. Wow, this is one of the best shows I've watched. Thank you all.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
And I want to thank you, Brother Dillard, and you, Sister Dillard, for coming down and to the Newlywed game. and before we get ready to close the show, Brother Dillard, this is what I want you to do. Okay, I would like for you to whatever positive thing you can leave for the viewers watching and for the kids who will be watching this show. What positive, inspirational note you would want to leave for the people?
So I would say for the young people would be just continue to work hard, follow your dreams. Don't let anyone else tell you can't do something, right? But also for the young people, there's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong with needing help. And when you need that help, when you need that support, whether it be from a social emotional standpoint, an academic standpoint, whatever it might be, ask for that support, ask for that help, especially when you're in the schools. There should be people that can help you and give you direction. And if there isn't, let somebody know, let me know, right? So we can put you in a connection with the people that can help you on that way. And then for the adults, I would say I appreciate this time to really talk about our mentorship efforts, because it's so very important. And then when I really think about and reflect on the impact that our mentors are having, like there are young people that are literally graduating from high school because they had a mentor, right? There are young people who are able to successfully transition from elementary school to middle school and be successful, from middle school to high school. There are young people that are just, because of mentors, helping them, building that rapport with them, they're able to be in a good space when it comes to being in school from a social emotional standpoint, because a lot of our young people, they just have so much emotional baggage because they've been through some traumatic experiences. And then the last thing I would just let people know is, again, you don't have to be a Rhodes Scholar. You don't have to have a doctorate degree. You don't have to have a degree. Like, you don't have to have, be an educator. You don't have to have this incredible life story. You just have to have the passion, desire, and patience to support our young people, and you will be an amazing mentor.
Man, that's awesome. And what more could be said? No. How long have you been married, brother?
27 years.
How long have you been married?
A long time.
For everyone that's still out there, come back next week. This was an exciting show. I'd like to thank Brother Dillard for being a part of it. I'd like to thank his wife for coming on. And we're going to have to invite this brother back. I think there was so much more we could have covered. We couldn't get to tonight, but if he's open to it, we'll bring him back.
Yes.
Awesome. See you next week. We're going to have another exciting show. Hold tight for 1 second, bro.
Okay, I will.